Customizing your profile. Okay, now I went ahead and actually created an account on Facebook just for the purpose of this video. It's not my actual account, so I don't encourage you to go out and try to find me because I won't respond. This is just a bit of a fake thing, I guess I could say. We can see here that's also not my picture, but wanted to have a picture to demonstrate that. So essentially, this is my profile. I signed up. The first thing I want to show you is the settings. If you click over here, the settings, this is visible on every page. I can go into my account settings, and in this we can see a couple different things, of course, that we can change as well. Okay, so there's the name. If you ever wanted to change your name, of course, your username, email, and whatnot. Networks is really important. This is where you can hook up with other people that you went to school with, that that you work with. A lot of different things can be a network, even sometimes a business. So, and of course, if you're starting your own business and trying to get the word out about something, it certainly doesn't hurt to get your friends on board with it as well. So you can go ahead and type in, the name of your school, and then it will search, for those possible schools here. Let's see. Just type that word, and you can see all these different networks are coming up. And then, of course, I can join one, and then go into there and find other people on that network and request that they become my friend. Under notifications, we can go ahead and select how we want to be notified. If somebody sends me a message, do I want to know that? If somebody wants to be my friend, of course, if you don't like getting the emails, they can go ahead and change these things as well. Lots of different options to play around with here. Also, if you want to be notified by text on your cell phone, you can do that too, which is kind of cool. And then here under mobile, of course, is more information about that as well. Language, I think is self-explanatory. Payments. There is an option where you can send gifts to people. It does cost money. It's not something that I do because, I guess because it costs money. I think there are a lot of different things out there that you can do already that are free that are just as cool. However, if you ever wanted to send a gift to someone, I know that some businesses do send gifts through Facebook to their clients. Maybe after you got a client or after you just did a big job for them, you certainly can do that. If they don't know that you spend any money, I think that part of the effect is lost a little bit. But still, it's an option. It's something that people do, experiment with. To reach my profile, just click on this here. And I want to talk about what you can change here on your profile. Of course, right here, this is what's under your picture. This is a very important box right here. Of course, to write something, you just click on it, and then you can write. And I do want to point out here that you can put a link here. So, for example, if I just type this, I'm just going to click outside of here, you'll see here that it is not clickable. So if you were to write your site like that, that's not a good idea. You actually need to write the whole link by including the HTTP : // There you go. Okay, I'll click outside of here, and now if I hold my cursor over it, you see I can click it, and of course it passes through Facebook, but then bam, here's Google. So now, of course, I'm not going to link to Google on my profile, but the goal here is that you can have your business here. So whatever you're promoting, have it here. I definitely encourage it. I would encourage you to have some descriptive text about it at first. This is also a good spot to put something like, join up for my mailing list to receive a free, whatever. And you say that. So of course, then they're drawn to click on here to get that bonus. You want to give people, every time that you can help it, you want to give people a reason to check something out that you have. Okay, so moving forward here, you can see that there's a lot of different information on this page here. Of course, I can edit my information here, which is just the birthday at this point. That's not my real birthday, by the way. So I'll put away the gifts. Okay, I'm going to click on Info and show you. You can see here there isn't much listed here, is there? I'm going to hit Edit Information, and there's a lot more that I can put in here than I have already. Basic information, personal information, contact information. Of course, what you're looking for. I want to encourage you to fill out as much of this as you can, just because it's going to help you seem more real. I know that when I've looked at businesses on here before, or somebody that has a business, I just think it's neat to learn something more about someone. It makes them seem like more of a real person. Perhaps they'll have the same interests as me, or the same favorite TV shows. I also want to note that here again you can be putting links in here. So if I do this here and then save it, okay, hit done editing, and there you go. So now you can see again that is you can click on. So moving forward, so again, the About Me is an important spot that you can use as well. Education and work, might be important to you. Again, it's really going to depend on your business and what you want to be sharing, what you're promoting. Of course, I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of that. If I'm a dog trainer, I'm trying to get people to understand that. I want to make sure that I show my worth here. Talk about the credentials that I have as a dog trainer. Maybe talk a bit about my experience. The high points of my career, things like that, because it's going to make you appear more marketable. Contact information also is a good thing to fill in, just because I think it's good to give people multiple ways of contacting you if you want to. If you're a huge corporation, maybe you don't want to be doing that, but I think it has certainly helped me in business to give additional information out here. I wouldn't suggest putting your home phone, of course, but your business address, of course, obviously your website, the different things there. See the link there for create a Facebook badge for your website. We're going to talk about that a bit later, but that's really important to do. But there's a handy dandy link to do it, but we'll talk about that later, so don't worry about that now. Photos is also a nice thing to have. You see people on a personal level sharing a lot of photos about what they've done, but if you were a business, maybe you just had some type of event at your business, why not have a photo album for that? It helps to show interactivity of your business, or you can have pictures of the inside of your business, or things that you've done, things that you've accomplished. Again, it's very easy to upload photos, and it certainly helps make things more flashy. I think that the important thing to understand is that a profile should have substance to it. When people come there, you want to give them what they're looking for, help them understand more about you and also more about your business. So that's really important to understand. The wall here, the Facebook wall, we're going to talk about that in a minute, but just wanted to talk about the profile here. Of course, so take some time. I encourage you to go out and set up your own profile. Look at some other profiles out there on the net. That's also very helpful to understand, to see what other people are doing and how they're angling things as well. Understanding your personal Facebook wall. Okay, this is really, really important stuff now that we're talking about. We talked about the profile here, how we can have things on the side here, but your wall, this is kind of like picture if you lived in an apartment complex and you had a bulletin board outside, or maybe a cork board outside of your door. Everybody had one. That would mean that anytime someone stopped by, they could leave you a note, leave you a message, and then of course anybody walking by could see. And this reminds me of a lot of times this happens in college. You have a board and people write posts or whatever, and of course everybody can see it. This is exactly what this wall is meant for. It's a way that other people can leave you messages. You can leave messages for other people, but the thing is, everybody gets to see it. So what happens then is, let's say for example that you have a business and you're promoting something. Other people can come on here and say, hey, listen, I loved your such and such, and then that helps with the social proofing, because when other people come here, they're going to see, hey, wow, these customers are leaving nice remarks on this wall here, that this must be good stuff, and then of course it's going to help with your credibility. Obviously, if somebody shares something that is not good, you have the ability to delete it. So you have complete control over this, just like you would have control over your corkboard at your business. So that's really cool. So that's what the wall is. So again, key things to keep in mind: you can make posts on your own wall. You just write here. There we go. Not very exciting, and just a demonstration to you. But this is things that you can put on your wall are things like, of course, we're having a sale today on such and such. I just started trying this new product, such and such. There's lots of different things that you can put on your wall, and your wall posts. Other people leave them, but also you write your own stuff. And when people come to your page, they're going to see this. Of course, if you don't like that, you can remove it. Lickety split, and it's gone. Okay, and then there we go, and there's another new post. So again, all my friends, can see this, and actually, all of my friends were just notified that I made this post, or they're notified in a feed, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. But shortly, you're going to see how this is all connected, and it's very amazing. But the point is, again, your wall is a place for other people to be conversing with you, but it's also a place that you can be talking about your own products and services and whatnot, and it helps with interactivity. It's different than a website, because a website, you just go out there and you promote your product and that's it. But on Facebook, you get your chance to do your pitch, but then you have the interaction with your clientele, which is incredibly important, and it's one of the reasons why this networking works so well. Now let's go ahead and look at someone else's page so I can show you what a wall looks like that's a bit more filled out than my sad empty wall. Okay, I apologize that a good bit of this is not be able to be for you to be viewed, but that had to be done for privacy reasons. But I wanted to be able to show you a profile that has a lot more filled in. Essentially, this is the person's wall. So you can see here, this is the account owner. They wrote, "I should have had children. I could have sold them." So I'm not sure what this is referring to. Some type of joke. You can see here that they did some type of survey here. Here, this person's saying, "Thank you for dinner. Tomorrow I'll have dinner for all of us, blah, blah, blah." And then you can see that the page owner commented. Whenever somebody writes on your wall, you are able to write a comment about that. So, even I could come on here and write, I like something on this person's page, and then I can write as well. Let's say, for example, "I should have children, I could have sold them." I could write something here. That is just too crazy. Okay, and there we go, and my comment will be posted. So again, it's a way to interact with the people that are on your list. So, it goes back and forth like this. If this stuff doesn't make sense, you just have to bear with it and give it a try, because people really get into this stuff, and the back and forth, which is why it's very important to be interacting with the people that are coming interaction with you, especially in the beginning, because you start to build things up, and then people see that you're going to be interactive. They're going to take part in the banter, in the play back and forth, and they're going to tell their friends, and their friends are going to see, and they're going to pass it on, and before you know it, you have a zillion friends. So again, that's how the wall works. It's all about interaction. It's also about positioning yourself as an expert and showing that you're accessible, and of course, anytime that you can, trying to promote your product. So we're going to move forward then with talking about the other features of Facebook and how you can best use them to promote. The power of the newsfeed. The newsfeed just might be the most important aspect of social networking Facebook, simply because it is a way to interact with the other people, on your list that are friends with, very easily. Essentially, what happens is everybody that is my friend, whenever I log into Facebook, you can see here that the home page for Facebook is what's known as the newsfeed, and that's basically all this stuff here. And what happens is every time one of my friends does something on their wall, it shows up on here in my feed. Now think about that for a second. That means that when I made this post here that you saw in the last video to sign up for Facebook, how cool, that was broadcast to everybody. So you might ask yourself, who looks at this? And I'll tell you what, I look at this on my personal account all the time, and I guarantee a lot of other people do. So this is a way that when you post on your wall, you're not just counting on people coming to visit you. You're putting it out there to them. So this is an incredibly powerful way to keep in touch with people, which is why whenever you can be posting to your wall on a regular basis, talking about your specials, or giving out tips about let's say this dog training. If I was going to approach the dog training, what I would do is I would make posts on my wall on a regular basis, just giving out some free advice about dog training, and then of course interjecting information about my course. And also, when you write on your wall, you can have a link too, so you can be trying to get people on your list or whatever. Basically, just keep that in mind. What I would do is, once you start to get into this, look and see what other people are doing, and then think about how you can use that for your business. But again, the power of the newsfeed is everything that you do on Facebook on your wall is going to show up in other people's feeds. Now, there are some people that will disable it. Anybody that's in your feed, you can choose to not have them show up. But I got to tell you, most people don't even know that option exists. You might have been using Facebook for a while and be surprised that you can do that. If I don't like this person here, I can just go over here to hide, and then remove them from from my feed, which is actually very handy if somebody's annoying. So keep that in mind too. Do not be annoying. But again, the feed is an incredibly powerful thing. It's a way to keep putting yourself in front of people, which also goes back to the importance of needing to update things on a regular basis. So please keep all that in mind and use the feed, to its most potential as we move forward with deciding how to market on Facebook.